welcome to Sorare Sunday for the week of the 21st of October to the 27th. Let's just jump straight in it. It is the changing of the hour, the clocks. Are we gain or lose an hour? I don't even know, but I'm all over the place because of it. So let's move on to what we did this week. Okay, so let's jump into the Pro this week, and I think we did pretty well. So we're going from the 21st, so it's midway through the weekend's, last weekend's stuff, and we got 10 out of 34 boxes. So we've got, the good thing is we can, because I've been building up my team for the last, all my cards for the last, 3-4 years, probably 3. Trying to remember when 2021 I think I joined, so coming on to 4 years. There's cards which I can use and build up a team, so I've got plenty of cards that I can use. There's a few areas which I didn't do too well in. Oh no, 1 minute, I'm thinking about this weekend that's just happened. We didn't do too well at Ipswich against Everton, but it still got me an alright score. But this team did pretty good. Flecken, Tielemans getting really good scores, and then the Leicester boys getting kind of middling scores. James Justin did quite well. Kelleher is playing in goal for Liverpool, so he got me some points. I'm really annoyed that I chose Walker because I don't know what's happened. Maybe it's Walker's getting a bit on in age and not being picked as much, but I thought he was going to be more of a regular start. He hasn't played for City for the last 2 or 3 games. And I picked him for this weekend as well, and he didn't play. So I think Walker might just be one of them players which I take an L on, and he's not going to play too often. And because if I'd used any other sort of defender that I've got around here, this team would have been quite high. I think it's quite a good score. We've got 2 goal scorers, Welbeck and Wood. Both of them are doing absolutely insanely well at the moment in the Premier League. So yeah. Anyone else? Matt Sells did well last weekend. Just trying to think if there's any other standouts. This guy, Alvaro Trejero, I think I put him as my player to watch on 1 week or something like that. Scored a goal. He's playing pretty well. I think he was last week's player to watch actually. I forget so quickly what I've done. But yeah, he did pretty well. Looking at Wan-Bissaka, Nikola Vlasic. So yeah, I had a few after the 2 weeks of internationals where I got barely anything. It was a really difficult few weeks of trying to get any boxes. Finally, we've got some stuff coming out. We got Højbjerg is doing well at Marseille. I think he's probably one of their best players, to be fair. He's getting consistently high scores. He's always either assisting or scoring goals or just playing well in general. Since we got Gabriel Sara, he has not really done a lot, but he did get an assist midweek. So I think he's just one of the ones which you have to think okay, he's gonna pop up every now and then with a really good score. But Elias Omarison for NAC. I think they're called NAC or Enase. I can't remember. I've got a Dutch wife who just keeps correcting me on how to pronounce it, and I always get it wrong. But 90, he did pretty well. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't captain him for this week. But yeah, getting some boxes there. Branderhorst had a really rough few games. They played Ajax, and it absolutely toppled his form. But he's starting to come back and doing a lot better now. I think Fortuna Sittard are going to be a team to watch out for. Not necessarily challenging really up the league, but just as kind of one of the ones maybe challenging for a bit of Europe or something. I quite like him. Yeah, I've got him twice. I accidentally got his non-in-season card as well. He wasn't that expensive when I got him though, so I was fine with it. So we've got a couple of 2-star boxes as well, using these guys. Marco Tullio. I know I did a player to watch on this guy. Got a goal, captained him 115 score. Nagaishi has had really good form, but what's really annoying is Japanese league is going to end. I think they've got 2 games left, so he's such a good keeper, but he's not going to be for long. And same with Matthews. He's not going to be useful until I think February time. I think that's when their league starts again. So we've got a few goalkeepers which I'm going to just not be able to use for that amount of time, sort of thing. But again, we've got a few like Robin Felhauer, I think, has done quite well. I think he scored this week as well. I think he's just a midfielder that seems to get in among the goals. So definitely one to keep an eye on there. Korshavelli, he plays for Georgia in the international as well. So he's a great player and captained him. Got a 75, did pretty well. And then overall, like pretty high scores if you look. I'm really annoyed that we were that close. 13 and 17 points away. We've got 2 goals for Yuto Tusamishi, and a goal for Sasbo. I think it's Sasbo. The only reason we didn't get anything is this guy didn't play. So frustrating. And then I played Marcelo Ryan. He got sent off, so that's why we didn't get anything for this team either. Actually got relegated, which is not great for us. I mean, actually, next time they'll be easier to get like a box or something, or at least get promoted. So sometimes relegation isn't the worst thing, you know. Johan Kathleen, there you go, is starting to play more regularly for Utrecht and actually scored their only goal to give them the win against Groningen. So definitely an interesting player to keep an eye on because he's quite young. He's starting to break into that first team. So he could potentially start to just snowball and become a really good player for them. Same actually for Christopher Bonsubar. At the beginning of the season, he didn't really play. He's starting to get more regular playing time, and he's also starting to get more like assists and goals. So 2 young players, which I think might be quite good. And then we did all right in the warm up. Everyone but our limited card did well, and I chose just the wrong limited card. I didn't really know who to go for this one. I should have gone for someone better, but yeah, we would have got something, I think, if we'd have chosen an okay limited. But now we know. Actually, the thing I need to check is if it has to be in season. Because if it doesn't have to be in season, I could have picked someone like what's his name? I just was talking about him earlier. Højbjerg. That's all right. That's what I was going to say. I could pick someone like Højbjerg, and he would give us a proper score boost usually. But then the warm up is just harder because so many people are on it. So do I want to waste a good scoring player on a 32,000 like competition? Probably not, because I'm more likely to get something in this competition, which I did. I got a 1-star box. So it's kind of like, what do you want to risk it on? And probably not that. And then for the midweek, it was Europe, and we didn't. I think we got 1 box. We did not do well. We don't have a lot of players who play in Europe. The one team which actually did fairly decent, like I said, Sara got an assist. Eriksson got a goal, but I chose a keeper that didn't play, which is surprising. He usually does play. And Thibaut Sommers is one of them players who is kind of I think he's not playing so well at the moment, so they keep dropping him. So yeah, he only got 39. We were probably closest there to get something out of it, but I don't know what probably should have used Kelleher instead. But I don't think Europa League and Conference. Yeah, no, this is Champions, so I couldn't have used Kelleher. I just didn't have a good goalkeeper for it. Like, I literally had no one for here, but Weghorst got on the score sheet, so there you go. I always love. He's such a passionate player. I always love him. He plays for the team like with his heart and soul, and you can't hate him. Do you know what I mean? He can miss a lot of chances though. Gabriel Goodmanson, I had a little look at Lille. He actually might be worth a shout as well in the future, because the player who usually plays in his position ahead of him is got quite a long-term injury, so he's going to be playing, and he's fairly decent. He can get like the odd assist or goal, and I think he also has played for Sweden before, maybe not so much recently, but if he's playing regularly for Lille, he might be picked up. We were way off with this one, although Tielemans and Duran playing well. Had a keeper that didn't play, defender who got a 12, and then Muller who didn't do a lot because they lost against Barca 4-1. And the one where I actually got 3-star box, so I don't know if I've opened a 3-star box before, especially on these sort of videos. So I chose mainly the same team, I think the Tokyo, and everyone seemed to play pretty well. And then the non-Tokyo player, Korshavelli, played pretty well as well. Captained him, got an 82. So yeah, 71st in the league isn't too shabby. Out of 650 is low, but still top 100 is not bad. I'm gonna give us that. Kenneth Taylor was in the under 23s, the only one who did anything really in that team. And again, I let myself down with the limited card. I just thought Digne would play, but because he usually does, but they ended up playing a card which I actually have, annoyingly enough. The Dutch defender, I can't remember his name, something like Martins. I can't remember, but he plays the same position. And Cash, who I also have as a limited card, played instead of him. So either of them would have been a better choice, but I still don't think that would have been enough to push us into the rewards section, which is again my point from what I was saying before. Everyone can choose any old common, you're going to have everyone choosing like players like Haaland, Grigores, Martinez, and they're going to have a similar score, and they might have like a limited card who plays better, sort of thing. So not sure if that's a competition worth fully investing in. So that was the pro. Rivals, I'm not going to dwell too much on, but this week I'm having a great run. I'm getting wins all over the place. I'm obviously losing a few, but as you can see, a lot more greens than reds. We did have a bad run of form here, which I think was actually for last time. Well, maybe not actually. No, this was for this one. So we had a good start, a real bad blip on Wednesday, and then we've kind of had one more than we've lost going forward. I bet on the wrong horse here for Barcelona Real. Real Madrid have been playing well recently, so I thought, yeah, I'd go with all Real team, and Barcelona absolutely trumped them, so it just wasn't to be. All right, so that's... but I think I will probably... I have dropped out of the promotions, so I think I'll probably have to do some today. I mean, we've got the Arsenal-Liverpool game starting soon, so I'll probably try and push... I might not get there, but I'm not that fussed about promotions and stuff at the moment. My squad aren't really pulling their weight at the moment. I'm getting 27. The next one down is 15. So we're we're bottom of the league. So no chance of us getting any sort of boxes or anything like rewards wise this week. So I'm kind of very unfussed by it, but just trying to get the best score you can. And it's kind of fun to play the rival stuff just to keep the games interesting. But yeah, we're going to now look at what we're doing next week. All right, so next week we're just going to look at the pros because rivals there's no real point. We're doing fairly well. We've got 10 out of 37 that we're going to get rewards on, but obviously that can all change with the games happening today and Monday. I will say I really messed up my team for my all Ipswich team. We've had 4-3. To get a point out of that would have been amazing for Ipswich. We were robbed at the end, but probably at the same time didn't deserve the win for how we played. Apparently, I've only been able to see like highlights and stuff, so I don't know the full game. But yeah, Ipswich are struggling at the moment, and the main thing is injuries and sickness. So I swapped out Tenzabe, I think is how you say his name, for Johnson. He's now injured, Johnson, I think. And Greaves is injured. So all my defenders who I've got for limited cards are injured. Morsey was out sick, and Hutchison had a sick bug as well. So on the morning of this game, Delap wasn't full fitness, was brought on like 60, 70 minutes and scored. So like made it 3-3. And I think the main big problem with this Ipswich team is I don't think Muric is a Premier League level keeper. So I think in January, Muric might have to be replaced. But it's so early on. We've spent so much money on him. I don't know if Ipswich will commit to replacing him after spending something around the region of 20 mil, I think, on him. So, like, you can't just spend 20 mil on a keeper, give him half a season and be like, nah, you're done. So, but he's just such... He gives the ball away. He doesn't make easy saves. He's a real problem. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping Ipswich can pick themselves up, get a win, because the first win of the season will give them confidence for sure. Overall, the Premier League stuff. Chris Wood again is an absolutely on fire. He's definitely found a new lease of life in Nottingham. And Elliot Anderson played pretty well as well that game. Flecken quite poor at score because he let in 3. Like I said, Walker didn't even play. Hoping Solanke will do something and we'll keep in the reward zone here. We actually, for having 3 players not playing, we're only 18 points off rewards, which is crazy, really. So if we'd have chosen just some different players, if we'd known about sickness or injuries, we might have been able to get something there. And then I'm hoping Wan-Bissaka and Eriksson will play, and I'll be able to get something here. See, Digne played against Bournemouth, so it's really hard to predict when like some of these players are going to play and when they aren't. But we just keep trying. But there's a few players who need to still play, so it's hard to tell what's going on here. Although Ryan Nori, I think it is, got a goal for Wolves, so a defender who actually scores is not too shabby. Should have captained him rather than Larson. I thought, because Larson's been playing better recently, thought he might get something, but it wasn't to be. My Rayo Valenciano, I think it is how you say it, did pretty well, got promoted. So out of the La Liga, that's the only team that's going to do anything. I don't think this team's going to do anything, and this one's just going to kind of it's safe, but I don't think it's going to get any rewards. But then we will be looking at all this next week when we're looking back, so we'll know what happened then. Again, Branderhorst playing a lot better now. Seems to have got his confidence back, so that's always good to see. I think he's going to be a decent keeper going forward. And I also got a couple more players for Ronivaldo's team in the Austrian League. And again, Fellhauer, who's not even in that team, but I put him with the Austrian League people, scored again. So 2 weeks in a row he's scored, got 95. He's probably worth, keeping an eye on maybe. He might be a player to watch in the future. Anderson is a player I got quite cheaply. I think it was like £1. Got an assist. Ronaldo got a goal. I do have the keeper who played against them though, Salinger. But you have to. It's just who I got. I think I got him really cheap at the beginning of the season. So yeah. But we are actually on track for getting a 4-star box and some money. Hopefully, if everything kind of stays around about the same, we're in the top 6%. But we'll just have to see. This midfielder, Sadel, might have pushed us down, so we don't get as much good stuff. But 370 is not a bad score, but it could be a little bit higher to get like kind of proper rewards. But yeah, that'd be exciting if we got some actual money. And yeah, overall, I think that's probably it for all of the stuff that's going on. And then for the week following, trying to remember, there's not a lot. I don't think there's any Champions League or Europa League, so it is literally just a barren wasteland of teams I can't play. So what I've got is the J League seems to be playing, Serie A is playing, and the Scottish Premier League is playing, and I think that's MLS as well. So we've got some MLS teams playing as well. So you got kind of a mishmash. We've got a full Serie A team in our champions in season, and then we can't fill any of our contenders or any more of the champion. Under 23s, we've got one team that we've been able to put together. Actually, most of those, I think these two, Shingtine and McCausland, are the only ones who don't play very regularly. They're more like impact subs. Sinclair plays, Taylor plays, and Amir Richardson does play most of the time. He sometimes gets dropped, for little brief stints. So I think to rest him. So potentially that under 23s team might do something. And then for the Europe, there's a new game mode which is basically replacing warm up. So for the Europe, best in Europe sort of thing, we've got Milan with Maganen, Kalulu and Pulisic. And we've got Matomini, and my player is Yaboa, who plays for, I can never remember, begins with Ven, I can't remember the team, but I brought him ages ago when he was a youth player, and he's just popped up as a player I can use again, so yes, I will use him. So yeah, that is the next week looking forward. So now we're going to go on to my player to watch. Okay, so for my player to watch, I'm trying to go with someone who's not necessarily in the top leagues, because I've suggested some Premier League players and stuff like that, but I'm going for someone who's in, and when I say top leagues, he's not in the big three sort of thing, like England or France or Italy or Germany sort of, but he's actually in the Belgian Pro League, so Juniper Pro League. And he plays for KV Kortrijk, I think is how you say it. Sorry, I pronounce things terribly, I know. But his name is João Silva. He's a Portuguese defender. But if you look at how he's played so far this season, he's got goals and assists from defence. He's had one bad game, and he has scored an own goal, I believe, there, yeah. But overall, he's playing very well and is a regular starter. The team itself, Kortrijk, are doing fairly well. I think they're kind of middling in the middle of the league sort of thing, and we'll get the odd big win here and there sort of thing. But yeah, and you can also pick him up fairly cheaply, like £1.12, £1.25 sort of thing. If you want to buy him direct from Sorare, £1.90 sort of thing. Even for a rare card, it's a tenner. And like I say, he's getting good scores, and he seems to be playing pretty well. So I think he is a good shout for a player to have in your I can't remember which leagues he can play in now. Okay, I just had to quickly check, and it's the Challenger League. So if you're looking for a good defender, I mean, without me captaining him, I should have captained him. He's this week got me 80, which is a really good score for a defender. If you captain him, he's hitting the hundreds easy. And he does get that very often. I mean, you'll have the odd game where he doesn't play as well. Every player has that. You literally can't. Even Messi has games where he plays awful. Do you know what I mean? So, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I think João Silva for in the Juniper League is worth a watch, and maybe worth a punt for £1, £2 to put in your challenger team to kind of have a defender that will play regularly and might get some good game time as well. So. And he assists a lot. I think he must be a winger because he assists a lot and he also gets goals. So what's not to like? So now we're going to go on to what's in the box. What's in the box? Okay, so we did pretty well this week. We had last week kind of a disappointing week with boxes. I will say though, Sorare have released a statement to say that they've taken down what you can win in the boxes because people were winning too much essence and stuff, and there's been a lot of disappointment in the stuff you've received from these boxes. So we might find that actually, even though we've got 21 boxes to open, the rewards are pretty trash. So we will prepare ourselves for that. But let's jump straight into the rivals boxes. Usually, you don't get too much good stuff from it. You just get essence or tickets. So, but we will take essence because we are now 3 away from being able to do a T5 card. And I would quite like to do a T5 card today. So hopefully we'll be able to get 3 more essence. We're just getting tickets at the moment, which I won't complain about because tickets do help with rivals because you can then get more of these boxes. So it's kind of like a cycle. But we have 1 more essence there, so we're 2 away. There we go, lovely. We're only 1. Well, I think we'll get enough essence to do a T5 card today, unless we have terrible luck on the draw for the rest of the 5. Let's see. Got 1 ticket there. Hey, we now have enough to do a T5. Perfect. Although, usually, what's been happening is we've had enough essence to basically be ready next week for another T5. I don't think that's going to be happening very often now. I think we might be doing T5s like every other week, if that, depending on how much essence we can pull, because it's going to be a lot less. I think they'll probably end up readjusting, and we just got nothing but tickets after all that. I think they'll probably end up readjusting to give you more essence in the future or more chance of winning an actual card or something like that. I just feel like they've probably over-adjusted one way and then need to then slowly pull back so that they give more rewards to people that they've kind of stopped giving rewards to, if that makes sense. So we just have to keep an eye on it, won't we? More essence. Free. Oh my goodness. Maybe we will have enough next week for if we get more essence through these ones, because we just got 3 more essence, 26. The thing is, I don't want to get a T4 and have to use up 40 essence. Oh, money. Nice. So £3.86 market credit. I won't say no to some money. That's very nice. Free essence again, 29. So we kind of don't want any more essence, because if we get 11, we'll get a T4. I mean, a T4 might be a good pull, but we then use up all our essence. So I don't think I've ever opened a 3-star box. Let's see. I'm hoping for a card, but you know what they say. You usually get disappointed if you're hoping for something. 5 essence. Well, I was disappointed, so there you go. 3 essence, so we're going to have to do a T4. There you go. Use up all of our essence on we're just getting so much essence. After saying like that they've reduced the amount of essence that you can win, these are useless. I never use the level ups. Maybe I should be. Let me know in the comments if I should be using level ups, but I've got loads of them and they just sit there doing nothing. 5 essence. So actually, even if we do a T4, we'll have 8. No, we'll have 11 left over. So actually, it's not the worst thing in the world. We should, if we do have another good week, be able to get another essence pull next week as well. That's what I'm hoping to have, 1 each week. But we've done all the boxes. It was kind of okay. We got some money. Got £3 something, didn't we? And we've got enough to be able to pull. Oh, it's 50. Oh, well, that is more disappointing. Because that means that I'm only going to have 1 left. And probably next week I won't have enough. Well, I don't know. I made loads of essence this week. So maybe we'll have enough to do a T5 next week. But, all right, a T4. Historically, my T4s have pulled trash for me. So I'm hoping we'll get something good. I've saved for 2 T4s before. And both of them have given me players which basically don't play. So here we go. Let's see what we get. 1 essence left after that. Let's reveal the card. Who we got? High serial number. Okay, Netherlands. You know me, I love my Dutch players. Goalkeeper. AZ. Hang about. He's their starter keeper. Alright, okay. I'm happy with that. Plus, he's only 19. Let's have a quick look at him. What a pull. He's been starting he's been starting all season for them. He plays in Europa or Conference, one of the two, because they played against Tottenham. I can't remember what competition that is. Europa League. And he plays regularly in the Eredivisie. How much are people buying him for? Like 23, 18 at auction, 23 at auction, 27. So he's around about a 25, I'd say, average £25 player. And he's a starter. He's super young. So potentially, if he's playing this age at this level, I'm going to say potentially a Dutch international, or Holland that usually has people with like dual nationality. A lot of players are like either Surinamese or Guyanese or something like that. So he could even be eligible to play for a different team if he doesn't play for. So he could be an international in the future as well. Yeah, he's around about, by now, 23 quid is the cheapest. All right. That was a great pull. Very happy with that T4. I was about to moan about having to pull a T4, but that is absolutely fantastic. He's going to go straight into one of my limited teams, and I'll be using him regularly. And I probably will build a team around him now, because you can buy AZ players a lot cheaper than after you get the goalkeeper. So, and I even got that £3 to build him. So absolutely loving this. I'm buzzing off that one. So let me know how you've done this week with Sorare. If you've got any good pulls, if you had any good results in your rivals or in your pros. And if there's any players that you're keeping an eye on who you think might be quite good, or what do you think about the recent changes to Sorare? Because they've changed some of the, the kind of UI, changed some of how things work. It's good to hear from you guys what you think as well. While we are here, though, I'm just going to quickly jump across to NBA, and just in case anyone's interested, I tried the hoops stuff out. I got some commons, not many. We missed out on a reward because of this guy not doing too well by 35 points. But we have been, playing. This one was terrible, but I also got some cheaper cards so that I can play a limited hand, and it's not gone well, let's just say. But I picked out a few players like McCain is supposed to be a good rookie. Wiggins is supposed to be a good player. I thought Highsmith would be playing, but apparently isn't, so I need to have a look on the news as to why. But we were so close on this one, and we still can. We're 22 points away from a reward, and Kuminga is playing soon. I don't know when his next game is, actually. Probably tonight. So hopefully he will pick up enough points that we can get a little bit of a reward. But we've got to have LeBron, he's the player I know, sort of thing. And LaMelo Ball is playing well. Hachimura is a good player, getting them decent scores. But next week we have changed up our commons team. Got Hachimura James, Derek White, Drummond, and Jermani Grant. I know some of these players. I watched the Boston Celtics first game of the season. Their threes are insane. They can shoot threes for days. So they're doing pretty good. I've got the same limited team. I want to win the cards rather than have to buy them. I spent like a $5 on all of these, I think, or something like that. So they were really cheap. I want to try and win some limited cards rather than have to buy them. So yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. But let me know if you want to see more NBA stuff. Happy to include it just at the end to have a quick peek. I'm trying to keep up to date with it all, but it's really hard when you live in the UK to keep up to date with everything, especially when you don't know a lot about NBA. It can be a bit intimidating. So if you have any advice or any players you like in the look of, any way that you kind of got into NBA, I know most of the rules and I enjoy watching the games. It's just they play so late. It's like 12:30 at night for game 1, and then game 2 is 3 in the morning for us. So I have to watch replays, and then I have to find the time to watch the replays and that. Let me know in the comments if you're not from the USA and are able to keep up with it, how you do that, or if there's any sort of like resource you use. That'd be really cool to find out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to come back next time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.